in. Everything is great. Life is great. Listen, I want to welcome and thank all of you for calling on this phone call. We will be getting started in about 45 seconds. I do appreciate you. I do have people all over, in front of me again, and over the phone. So we do appreciate you. Listen, if you know anyone, get them here on this phone call. It is a very important mindset phone call. I do this every Sunday. And every Sunday we get deeper and deeper and we grow bigger and bigger. So get ready. Thank you for calling in to this week's Mindset phone call. I really do appreciate you. I am grateful. Staff, I do believe we are ready at this time. All right, well, welcome and thank you for calling this week's Mindset phone call. My name is Antonio T. Smith Jr., and I will be your farming partner. And I will help you plant seeds that are worthy of the quality of life of you. We do this phone call every Sunday night at 8:30 Central Standard Time. It doesn't matter if the Super Bowl is on or Walking Dead is on. We do this phone call. I'd like to reach now into the announcement section of this phone call. I want to talk to you first about the Brick by Brick Motivational Podcast by me and my assistant, Tempest Smith. It is a motivational business and coaching podcast, and you can find it on both iTunes and Podomatic. You can reach Podomatic by going to your various store, iTunes or Google Play, or you can just simply search for it on Google, Brick by Antonio T. Smith Jr., or you can go to your iTunes app on your smartphone or your Mac. I want to tell you about this. I normally run over this, but this is a top-ranked podcast. It last year reached over 200,000 downloads alone. And that's not to count, the streams or the listens or anything like that. So please don't underestimate this podcast. Please know that you'll hear this Plant Better Mindset phone call at some time, but also you'll get plenty of different things that will help you reach the quality of life in which you so deserve. It is free, and there's no sense in suffering when you have every resource available to you to win at life. Again, that is Brick by Brick, the motivational podcast. Do not sleep on this podcast, and don't let me just say it. Right now, stop what you're doing. Go get the podcast, iTunes or Podomatic. It will help you greatly. We're actually in season 5. This season, we will top over 100 episodes. Right now, we're somewhere like 81. Thousands of people, over hundreds of thousands of people in over 70 plus countries listen to this podcast week by week. Right now, we're ranked number 15 in the business category. So do not sleep on this podcast. Also, I'd like to invite you to theatsjr.com. Each week, I give away something free on that website, and you can get it there. Also, I'd like to tell you that there's many different free things that we do give, so please, listen, guys. It is too much life out here for you not to enjoy. There's far too much life out here for you not to enjoy. So please get out there, enjoy life. Lastly, I do offer one-on-one coaching. You can meet me tonight for 15 minutes on theatsjr.com. And you can find me there. Just simply go to that chat, and either me or one of my strategic coaches or agents will respond to you. Get in touch with me, and we will do free coaching right then and there. Do not miss an opportunity to grow more, do more, and then be more. Now let's move into this section of this phone call. If you're on this call, get ready, have some fun, but get your pen, get your piece of paper, your pencil or your piece of paper, or the note app on your phone. However you have to do it, get ready to take lots of notes, because today I want to regale you positively with a lot of information. If you hear something that speaks with your spirit or your soul or whatever you want to call it, use the hashtag #PlantBetter in order to inspire others and keep others in a coaching state so they can win. At this time, tonight I want to talk to you about understanding the law of attraction. I want to talk to you again about understanding the law of attraction. Let me preface first by telling you, if you are not arrogant, now what is arrogance? Arrogance is a condition in which you do not allow in new information. So if you are not arrogant, if you allow the new information in which I have for you, I would teach you how to get whatever you want, how to get out of the point in which you cannot embrace yourself. Listen, some of you are struggling because you haven't figured out a way to love yourself, and you hop from relationship to relationship. But first you need to love yourself, because if you don't fix you, you'll take the wrong you into the right relationships, only to end up with the wrong relationship. So if you want to learn how to embrace yourself, if you want to learn how to forgive all of these things or change your perception, I'm going to give that all to you tonight. Some of you, I'm simply just going to plant seeds, which is my job. Others of you, you're going to get it. You're going to get it immediately. I encourage you to receive all this information and take good notes. As well, if you're on Facebook watching me right now, and if I coach you in some way or you're just inspired right now, go to your search bar on Facebook and go to ATS Winners Circle, and you can find a bunch of people, a community of people which I mentor, and they will share their notes from this phone call right there. Again, that is the ATS Winners Circle on Facebook. Let us go. Everything in this life is in vibration. I need you to understand this. I need you to get it. The whole time on this phone call, I'm going to push against some stuff that you think you know or you haven't been taught. And here's the truth. Your educational system, with all due respect, it taught you great general knowledge, but it did not teach you how to win in life. It taught you how to be a middle-class American who is an employee, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But it did not teach you how to start a business, nor did it teach you how to become financially intelligent, and most unfortunately, whatever education you have did not teach you how to love yourself. It taught you how to love others, but it did not teach you how to love yourself. So we're going to talk about a lot of science in a very entertaining way, which won't be boring, that's going to be maybe new to you on this phone call. What does that mean? Everything in this world is in vibration. That means everything is moving. The reason Newton's first law of motion, which is an object at rest, will remain at rest until an unbalanced force acts upon it, is because Newton discovered something and he couldn't quite explain it. And so he said an object at rest will remain at rest until an unbalanced force acts upon it. What does that mean? It means everything is moving. You're always vibrating and you're always moving. The solid table or the solid phone in which you have in your hand right now, it's not even solid. It's 90% empty. And if you look at it with the right microscope, you'll see energy moving at very fast rates. That means you're always moving to your dreams or from your dreams. Please write that down. Every step of your life, you are always moving to your dreams or from your dreams, because everything in this world is in constant vibration. Why do I bring that up first? Why am I talking about vibration? Because everything is vibration. I say this all the time. The only reason you are hearing me right now, or if you're on the phone, is because air is hitting my vocal cords and then vibrating into a manner that produces language for human beings and other species to understand. And then whatever, whether it be Facebook Live or this microphone right here in the headphones, it's vibrating to a frequency in which you can understand. And then your eardrum my sound is vibrating in your eardrum, and then your brain is able to interpret vibrations into an automatic language in which you can understand. Why is this important? If you think you're going to be still, give up, and quit, and just let life happen to you, you're sadly mistaken. Life is not happening to you, it's happening for you unless you have an incorrect perception. Here's what that means in plain English. You're always moving towards your dreams, or you're always moving from them. Today, ask yourself, was I moving towards my dream, or did I take the day off? If you took the day off, you did not take the day off. You literally, scientifically went away from your dreams. Please hear this. I'm not telling you not to take days off, but don't expect me to do so. I'm not telling you not to take vacations, but don't expect me to do so. What I am telling you is that you're always in a constant state of vibration, and you're always going towards your dreams or away from your dreams. And if you took today off, you didn't take today off. You literally start traveling in the opposite direction of your dreams. So let's define this. This concept I'm talking to you is about the law of vibration. This is very important. And it's a hard concept to wrap your mind around, but it's a fundamental law of the universe. The law of vibration states that anything that exists in the universe, whether it is unseen, seen, it can be broken down and analyzed into its most basic form, and it consists of pure energy and light, and it is analyzed in a manner in which it has a frequency or pattern. Okay? Too much to repeat. I'll simplify it for you so you can write it down, because I got staff here. She's typing notes really quick. The law of vibration says anything that is seen or unseen, regardless of which realm it lives in, when you break it down to its most fundamental meaning basic, when you break it down to its most basic form, it is at a constant vibratory pattern or frequency. These are facts. Let me give it to you this way. Everything is always in motion. Now hear my next words. If you've ever wondered why your life is falling apart, I'm going to give it to you right now. I'm giving to you the law of attraction, and I'm giving it to you right now, and I want to go deeper and deeper and deeper. Here's why your life is falling apart if you don't know why. Skyscrapers are right now, they look still, but they are vibrating at a particular frequency. And as they vibrate, you don't notice them, but then when an earthquake happens, when the frequency of the earthquake matches the frequency of the skyscraper, that building will fall. This is exactly why earthquakes don't tumble all buildings. They tumble some buildings and structures, because everything is operating at a vibratory frequency. When the vibratory frequency of the building meets the vibratory frequency of the destructive force against it, that good building will fall. Listen to what I just said. When the destructive force that comes against the building vibrates at the same force or frequency as the building, what is destructive will take down what is standing. Some of you are having a terrible life because you keep vibrating at the frequency of destructive people in your life. I'm just trying to help you out here. Listen, you're vibrating at a frequency that is opposite of your desires. But the frequency is destructive by nature. And when you match what is against you to destroy you, you will fall. This is why I frequently, and I encourage you to do so. And if you know anyone who is successful, if you know anyone who is living their dreams, we frequently ignore people. I cannot tell you this enough. I cannot tell you enough how much powerful you'll be if you stop participating in arguments that you have been invited to. Just because someone invited you into the argument does not mean you need to participate. When the destructive frequency matches the frequency of the building, the vibration, that building will fall. Every single thing, from the largest stars to the planets in space to your cell phone, all the way down to the thinnest grain of sand, is in a constant state of vibration. Everything. I'll pull out my Bluetooth speaker real quick. This speaker is vibrating, and I'll tell you how I'm not even touching this speaker in a moment. Every single thing that is happening in your life and around you, whether you're conscious of it or not, which I will talk about in a second, is vibrating at a frequency. So are you. Your brain is so smart that it has taken the vibrations all around you and learned how to translate these vibrations into reality. So the next time you say, well, I can't do that, I'm not smart enough, that is a lie. Your brain on a subconscious level is so smart that it understands to process more information than what you're conscious of. I'll say it this way. Think about wherever you are right now. Think about it. Think about wherever you are right now. What does that room smell like? Here's the deal. You haven't even been conscious of the smell of the room until I just reminded you. Because your subconscious brain is still smelling the room. Your conscious brain said, I don't need this information. I have to listen to what this crazy guy is talking about. And so it filtered that information out. But your subconscious brain is still interpreting the smell of the room, the smell of your deodorant, the smell of the carpet freshener, and everything else. The law, Einstein says, everything in life is vibration. So the law of nature that states that everything is vibration, if you take into chemistry, what you find out is you can alter the vibratory state of anything on planet Earth. That means if I want to alter the vibrations of this speaker, I can smash it into pieces. If I want to alter the vibrations of a dollar bill and change it chemically, I can light it on fire. It will be changed. I said last week, anything you can account for, you can control. What does that mean for you? There's nothing in your life that you have not attracted. I'm trying to get you to understand the law of attraction. Everything in your current life right now, you have attracted into your life. I don't care if you believe in this or not. This is physics. I don't care if you're religious or not. This is physics. You don't get to disagree with science. You can disagree with my theology, my shirt color, my hair color. You can disagree with everything that you want to. What you cannot disagree with is that everything in your life, you've caused it to be there. Why have you caused it to be there? I'll explain this to you later in great detail, but let me give it to you now. Since you are vibrating at a certain frequency, you are attracting in your life everything on the level of that frequency. Okay, so I want you to think of it like this. I want you to think of it as different levels. Think of it as different levels. You're vibrating at level whatever. And you can only get in your life everything that vibrates at that frequency. This is why the next level in your life causes you to become the next level of you. These are facts. Write this down. You can only get in your life the level in which you're vibrating at. This is why, in order to go to a higher level, you have to become a higher you. And the reason why some of you keep getting the same old is because you keep being the same old you. And you're mad at the events in your life instead of being mad at yourself for vibrating them into your life. Every single thing in this world vibrates. Let's go deeper. When parts of your body become stressed, that's disease. You hear it popularly. Bob Proctor specifically says dis-ease. It is a body that is not at ease. Scientifically, your body is no longer producing the correct sound waves and vibratory waves to keep your body healthy. In high school, they call it homeostasis. Okay? When your body starts vibrating at a frequency that is no longer harmonious to your health, you will get disease. These are facts. This is metaphysics, but this is not just metaphysics. This is chemical and biological facts. You know why you guys have that headache you can't get rid of? You keep taking medicine, you keep treating the side effects, you keep treating the headache, but you haven't treated you. You keep taking Tylenol for this migraine, but you haven't changed your vibration. You keep telling him to change, but you haven't changed the vibration of you that will force him not to exist anymore. You keep complaining about how he's cheating, but you haven't changed your vibratory frequency to someone who won't tolerate cheating. It's just that simple. Everything in your life is a vibration, and you are vibrating at a vibratory frequency that you actually want. This is important because you won't admit that you want the drama in your life. But on a molecular level, a vibratory quantum physics level, you want exactly what you have in your life. To understand the law of attraction, you need to understand this here. That you have in your life what you are, not what you want. Please write that down. It is a bitter pill to swallow, and you need to receive it. Receive it this way. I could not do this phone call that is international. There are people from different countries that call this phone call. My podcast with my assistant is in 70 plus countries. That could not be possible if I thought I deserved very little. I need you to understand this here. I could not have a top-ranked podcast if I did not become a top-ranked podcaster before I started the podcast. Listen to this. Because you wouldn't even be looking at me, you wouldn't be listening to me, you wouldn't be sitting here if you secretly did not want this information. I've attracted you, and you've attracted me. We can't even coexist in the same space if we were not vibrating at the same frequency. I need you to receive that. You know why? Because some of you have low self-esteem. And I don't have low self-esteem. But there's something inside of you vibrating at a higher frequency than the self-sabotager that keeps telling you what you cannot do. That's why I'm here. That's why this phone call exists. You could be, listen, this is planet Earth. It is a huge sphere that you can be anywhere you want to be. You could be at a nightclub watching a game, watching Walking Dead. It is Sunday, and Walking Dead is an awesome show. But you're here because you attracted being here. And you cannot attract something that you are not like. Which brings me to point number 2. Like attracts like. Point number 1 was everything is vibration. Point number 1, my staff was like, oh my God. Point number 1 was everything is vibration. The second concept that you need to grasp is also a fundamental law of vibration. Now remember, a fundamental law of the universe is a law of vibration. Well, the fundamental concept of the law of vibration is like attracts like. Oh, this is important. Frequencies that vibrate alike are attracted to other frequencies. Now, some of you are going, well, why do opposites attract? I'll get there in a second, and I'll explain that in a second. Think about two droplets of water moving towards each other. What happens as they get closer? They eventually get close enough that they attract one another and become instant and one of the same thing, and then they become separate ones. They no longer become one, they become separate ones. This occurs because of the law of vibration. I'll get to that in a second. Think about it this way. The reason why your best friend is your best friend is because you can almost finish each other's sentences. Because he or she vibrates at the same frequency. Think about it this way. Maybe some of you are churchgoers or mosque goers or whatever it is that your religion is. Since I'm well versed in church, I'll explain it in a church way. Have you ever walked into a church and the moment you walked in, you got a bad vibe? Have you ever thought about that bad vibe actually is short for bad vibration? You've been saying vibes, positive vibes only, bad vibes, and you haven't realized that you're saying vibrations, okay? Have you ever walked into a place and you immediately felt, ooh, I'm not supposed to be here? That's because your frequency did not match that one. Now, if you're religious, you'll say, your Holy Spirit warned you. I don't care how you say it, okay? What you need to understand is you are like something and you walked into an environment that wasn't like you and you immediately became uncomfortable. Now watch this here. Think about that. Now think about the people you know to where you told yourself something about this person is off, but you overrode that decision. Did you pay for it? Think about it. Remember when you first met someone, you said, ooh, I'm going to just give him a chance anyway. Remember how bad you paid for that? Because no matter what you're trying to do, you cannot stop things vibrating at other things. The law of attraction is always working. It is just some confusion that exists on how it works. A deeper understanding is needed to know how we are getting the things that we don't want. Like if I'm telling you like attracts like, you're going, well, how do I keep getting all the things that I don't want? It's because you are vibrating at a certain frequency, but your mind wants something else. But you would never get out of life what you're thinking of. You would get out of life what you're dominantly thinking of. This is why opposites attract. Listen to what I'm saying. The hard thing to understand about the law of attraction is you're saying, well, why do I keep getting this life, this car accident, this broken arm, this pink slip, this poverty line? Why do I keep getting this person I don't want to be with? It's because to think of something is not enough. You have to vibrate at what you're thinking about or feel what you're thinking about to where that feeling becomes your dominant thought process. This is very important. Now, okay, just in case I've got some folk on the phone disagreeing and you may be religious, that's okay. It's quite okay. Let me just tell you how this sounds if you're Christian. So as a man thinketh, so is he. Okay? We're saying the same things. Don't get tripped up in semantics. Keep listening. You're not getting what you want, you're getting who you are, is the way I love to say it. Who you are is what you predominantly think about. If you are afraid to go online right now and check your online banking balance, who you are is not a six-figure wealthy person. Who you are is someone who secretly believes money is always running out. I'm trying to liberate you. You keep starting the network marketing company, which is nothing wrong with network marketing. You keep starting the business. You keep doing all the right things. But since you're afraid to check your online balance, that's your actual predominant thought. Anything that controls your feelings is what you're actually thinking of dominantly. Please write that down. Anything that controls your feelings is what you are actually thinking about dominantly. When someone walks into a room, you're happy. But when they walk into a room and you don't like them and they don't like you, when they alter your mood, being happy is not your dominant thought. What they do to you or how you feel about them is your dominant thought. That means that person is stronger than your happiness. I'm going to repeat that because there's some people out here suffering because you have someone that hurts you or has hurt you. And every time they walk in a room or every time you think about them, they alter your mood. They cause your armpits to sweat and your stomach to turn into knots, or they just quite frankly cause you to get pissed off. I mean, you just like all that stuff. That's because happiness is not your dominant thought. You're happy at that moment, but you just happen to be happy. A broken clock is right twice a day. But your dominant thought is what alters your mood. And when you think of them and they alter your mood, you now have to say, why does that person alter my mood? Maybe it's lack of control. Maybe it's you hurt me. Maybe it's I'm going to prove something wrong to you. I'm going to prove something right to you. Whatever it is, none of those thoughts are putting money into your pocket. When someone alters your mood and messes up your day, when you're mad at 7:55 a.m. because someone called you and you drag that out to 7:55 p.m. and you only had a text message for 2 seconds and you read it for 20 seconds, but you've been mad for 12 hours about it, your predominant thoughts have not been your job, have not been your children. They have been the mood that keeps you off kiltered. I have to say something hard here now. Many of you are using your children as an excuse for why you're stuck into certain positions. Well, as soon as I will know. Because if you actually wanted it, you would do it and take your children with you. Listen to what I just said. I'm not telling you you don't love your children. I'm saying as much as you claim your children are your predominant thought, the fear of moving forward is actually your predominant thought. And as long as the fear of moving towards your dreams is your predominant thought, you're actually moving from your dreams. And you will never get in life what you want. Now, I've been talking to you for quite some time now. Almost 33 minutes. And some of you are receiving me, and some of you are not. I can't control any negative comments. As a matter of fact, let's talk about negative comments. Some of you probably will, probably won't. I haven't attracted such thing. If you do it, I won't even see it. Because that level of frequency doesn't exist in my reality. You can cuss me out all you want to, but you won't alter my mood. Because that level of frequency, it doesn't exist in my reality. This is why I don't let people gossip around me. Because that poverty way of discussion doesn't exist in my reality. It goes back to these levels I was talking to you about. You can only get what you attract on each level. Gossip lives somewhere down here. I don't live there. This is why. Have you ever? I have a person I mentor. He asks a lot of questions, lots of questions, and he's listening right now. He probably hasn't realized I've answered every last one of his questions today, except for one that's going to answer the rest of them. I'll answer it right now because it's all about the law of attraction. Listen to this. You can live in life at a financial level up here. If this is poverty, then this is, I don't know, upper middle class, upper class. You can live there financially, but your state of consciousness can be here. Listen to what I'm saying. This is why you have many rich people who commit suicide. Many of millionaires who are lonely. Many millionaires who just think that no one is struggling and poverty doesn't exist and there is no racism. You can, just because you can have a high intellect, but a low level of consciousness. If you have a high level of intellect and a low level of consciousness, you're only going to draw into your life what is on this level of consciousness. This is why you'll have a lot of money but can't enjoy it. Listen to what I'm saying. This is why some of you live in big houses but can't enjoy them. This is why some of you have the house of your dreams but the marriage of your nightmares. Because your financial status is way up here, but your level of awareness, of consciousness is down here. And so you're only attracting into your life, not your financial status, but the level of your consciousness. This is why there are so many successful people keeping other people in systems of control, and they're terrible leaders who only make other people feel bad about themselves. This is also why you have an administrative professional who makes $35,000 a year, living every one of his or her dreams, and is happier than their executive. Because their level of consciousness is higher than their executive's level of consciousness. Now, the people you meet in life that are both successful and have a high level of consciousness or awareness, these are the people you fall in love with. Have you ever met someone, the moment you meet them, oh my God, I just want to hang around you. Can you teach me? Can we do this? Can we do that? Oh, he's such a great leader. Here's what we always say, he's such a down-to-earth person, or she's such a down-to-earth person. You know what? I thought since she was a millionaire, she would be whatever, put your word there. But she was as nice as she can be. Because this person has a high level of intellect and a high level of consciousness. And they can both perform at high levels and still love on people around them. And all they attract in their life is things that are on this level of consciousness, to include finances and peace. Listen, you can't be financially prosperous and have friction in every last one of your relationships and call yourself prosperous. Prosperity is a full circle. Prosperity is something you have in every area of your life. You can't make money and then have 50 divorces and then say, I'm successful. No. You're successful to people in the world who have a low level of consciousness. But if you're always arguing, and if you're always protecting your money, and if you have to carry 5 guns just to be safe, and a security level of bodyguards, you're not living the level of prosperity that is true and that can be defined by what prosperity is. So if we have a desire, but our dominant beliefs and thoughts are of lack, you will not get that desire. You would get the lack. Please write this down. If you have a desire, but your dominant thoughts are of lack, you will not get your desire. You will only get your dominant thoughts. I'm going to explain this to you in physical fitness terms. Some of you are going to the gym every morning. You're meal prepping. You've got 16 Tupperware containers. And you got like food that fits in the palm of your hand. And it's green. And you got the clean, fresh chicken with no, what you call that stuff? Not preservative. Well, preservatives are kind of bad. Hormones. The extra hormones injected into it. You got all that stuff. And you still can't lose weight. It is because you're doing the right things and you want to, but your predominant thoughts are lack, or I can't lose the weight, and you don't have an image of your future skinny self. These are facts. If you don't have an image, you can go nowhere. You must have a vision of the future in order to leave your present. Hashtag plant better. You must have a vision of your future in order to leave your present. Now, still inside number 2, but let's talk about the frequency of attraction or relationships. Let's talk about that for a little bit. The law of attraction states that like attracts like. That means that people with a low level of frequency can only attract people with low level of frequencies. That means if you have low self-esteem, you can never attract anyone with high self-esteem. You can definitely attract low self-esteem people that put on a lot of makeup, male or female, that go to the gym every day to cover their level of self-esteem. But you will only ever attract anyone who vibrates at your frequency. Listen to me. If you don't fix you, you're gonna always attract the person that's actually worthy of you by your standards, because you're worthy of silver and gold and the moon, but you don't know your worth, so you attract people who are going to treat you less of your value. If you're at a low level, if you have abandonment issues, you're going to always attract in your life someone who abandons you. If you have anger problems, you're going to always attract in your life someone who always rubs you the wrong way. It doesn't matter. Whatever you are, that's what you're going to get. I said this the other day. If you always have to be right, you're going to always attract in your life people who need to prove you wrong. It has to happen that way. It is science. It is the laws of physics. If you want a loving relationship, then you need to do the work of learning how to take emotional responsibility. Whew. This is where I get beat up at. Because no one likes to take responsibility, because that's difficult. But then take emotional responsibility? Nah, we're not going to do that. Because it's their fault. Yeah, it's their fault. My staff likes to say jumping. That's something we have inside of our office, because I tell everyone, stay in the plane unless you want to be ripped apart by turbulence. And so they say, I'm jumping as a joke around the office. If you desire a loving relationship, you must, by law of attraction, take full emotional responsibility. That means your happiness is your control, not mine. Doesn't matter if I buy you a Valentine's Day gift. Your happiness on Valentine's Day is in your control. And if you love yourself the way you should, if you think you deserve gifts, you'll always attract someone who will buy you a gift every Valentine's Day. You see, you thought it was that person. It's never been that person. It has always been you. Because if you don't have what you want, if they didn't remember your birthday, if they didn't remember whatever it is, you attracted that person. Attract a different you or create a different you. You won't even have to deal with these people. You must take emotional responsibility. What does that mean? That means learning to be present in your body rather than stuck in your mind, avoiding your feelings. I just lost half my phone call. In order for you to take emotional responsibility, that means you have to be present in your body and not stuck in your mind, avoiding your feelings. It means you have to own it. And if you don't feel good, then you're not vibrating at a frequency. Listen, if you don't feel good right now, something or someone in your life is altering your vibration. And you will never be able to get what you want with the person who you are. And so you have to take emotional responsibility. You have to live in your body. Then you must watch it, be open to learning about what your feelings are telling you rather than protecting them against various addictions and people. Man, if you want to apply this law of attraction, have a good life, what you must do is you must learn how to be open about learning about your feelings instead of protecting your feelings from the wrong people. What does this look like? Some of you have that crab, right? You have the hard outer shell, but the real soft inside. Learn why you feel that way. And you want to attract people in your life that make you have to have a hard outer shell. I'm not saying the world isn't crazy. I'm not saying people won't bother you. I'm just saying that your level of forgiveness will be so high that it won't bother you. You cannot be successful and be a people pleaser. I'm not saying you can't do well for the world. I'm not saying you can't please people. But being a people pleaser is not to be confused with pleasing people. To be a people pleaser means you have no worth or no value. You are going to bend to them. And if you keep bending to the desires of other people, you will never have time to work on your own desires. You also need to learn how to access let's call it a spiritual source of love, rather than expecting someone or some higher power to give it to you. This is where I walk a bit hard. That means you need to love yourself before you expect me to do it for you. If you don't love you, you're going to attract people in your life that won't love you. Why do you expect people to tell you the truth when they see you lying to yourself every single day? You can't do it. It's not fair. So what's the big picture here? The big picture is number 3. This is the last thing. The big picture. Number 3. Let's see if we can do this. I'll get into some science real quick. One of the core principles of quantum physics is the idea that reality, or photons and protons and light illusion that we occupy, that's reality, exist in infinite possibilities. Okay? For the next 12 minutes, follow me. I'm going to make this very simple. One of the core principles of quantum physics states that reality exists in infinite possibilities. For example, the many worlds theory. Okay? Now this sounds spooky, but there is actual hard science to back up the many worlds theories. I'm not telling you to believe in this. I'm just telling you that we also call this superposition. And it's also, Google it. Google it right now. I'm going to give it to you. Double slit experiment or theory. Okay? Double slit experiment. Google it. It is the granddaddy of quantum weirdness. And so, basically, in the layman's terms, life right now is all over the place. You are you right now, and the you want to be, and the you don't want to be, and a billion infinite, so let's not say a billion, an infinite other yous that you can be. You're all of them. But the moment your consciousness collapses on what you want, you cease to be everything else, and you just become you. Okay? Don't worry about it. I know it's spooky. I want to give it to you the great way. When you were in kindergarten, your mom told you, baby, you can be anything in the world you want to be. You decided to work where you are today at 35 years old. Yep. You. Superposition says that this iPhone, when I walk out the room, it's going to exist all over the place. You don't believe me? Superposition. One word. Superposition. One word. This is hard science. We have pictures of it. So we don't get to disagree with this. We have pictures of atoms or molecules that are one that exist in 3,000 places at once. It's kind of hard to see. That's too small. And it's not 3,000 different ones. You can actually watch this on What the Bleep Do We Know? A book and a movie. And basically, we exist in superposition. What does that mean for you? That means that you can have the happy marriage you wanted, but you, with your conscious mind, collapsed on a marriage that wasn't worthy of you. That means you can have the dream job that you wanted, because it exists. It exists in reality. You can have it. But you decided to collapse on the reality that you don't want. Why? Because in here, you don't think you deserve it. This is very important. In an essay called Consciousness and the Double Slit Interference Pattern, 6 Experiments, there's a quote that says, observation not only disturbs what has been measured, they produce it. We compel the electron to assume the definite position. We ourselves produce the result of the measurement. Okay? Now, before I explain that what you mean, I'm going to give you, because I'm quoting a pretty scholarly journal, and I don't want to be plagiarizing. Dean Radin, Lena McHale, Carlo Galdamez, Paul Whitland, and Robert Reichbach, and Armand Delamore. They all said this in that one thing. You can Google it. Observations, consciousness of the double slit interference pattern, 6 experiments. What does that mean? That means that you decided what you want in this life. That means that you have power beyond your ability. You decided to be weak. That means, okay. So, 1, 2, and 3, big picture. Everything in this world is vibration. That's number 1. Number 2, vibration of similar frequencies are drawn together, or like attracts like. That's number 2. Number 3, you have the ability to control your vibration. Then you can most certainly control your life. It's a big picture. I'll give it to you again. Everything's at vibration. Number 2, like attracts like. And you have the ability to control your vibrations. Therefore, you have the ability to control the conditions of your life. The problem occurs, or the problem comes about whenever we attempt to control our reality without first adjusting our vibration. The problem with the law of attraction comes when we attempt to control our conditions without first controlling us. When that occurs, no amount of physical manipulation, no degrees, no marriage counseling, no anything will create the world that you want to see. All of the work is done on the inside. You cannot change the outside. You have it backwards. You cannot change your outside world changing your outside world. You can only change your outside world changing your inside world. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and then all that stuff on the outside will be added unto you. So seek ye first something on the inside of you, and when you find that which is greater than you that you can tap into, then all the stuff that is not worthy of you or not your desire on the outside of you will change. Listen, you have it backwards. You have it backwards because you're trying to change what is on the outside. But you're the one creating what's on the outside because of what's on the inside. You can correct him or her all you want to. You can keep arguing, but as long as you're argumentative, you're going to keep having arguments. You can keep wanting peace, but as long as you have anger problems, you're going to keep having none peace. It doesn't matter what's happening in your life. What's happening in your life as a consequence and a result of what's happening inside of you. So what's the point? The point is, you can do nearly everything in this world. Everything in this world that you can imagine. You can do everything in this world that you can imagine. You in front of me. You over the phone. You on Facebook Live. Listen to my next words because it's gonna bump against your religion. You are God of choice. I don't care if you're religious or not. You have the power of your choices. Therefore, you are God of choice. You have the power to create. This is your world. This is your reality. You are the God of choice. You are only limited by fear of pain and fear of other people's reactions. Oh, I'm liberating somebody. Listen to me. What's the point of this entire hour phone call? The point is you can have, be, do whatever you want. You are the God of your own choices. And if you can control your choices, and remember, if you can account for it, you can control it. If you can control your vibrations, you can control your conditions. You are God of choice. You're only limited by two things: fear of pain and fear of other people's reactions. Please write that down. Please go out there right now and write this down. You're only limited by two things in this world: the fear of pain. That's why your brain won't let you work out. That's why you won't go get that degree, because it costs too much money, and that's going to be physically pain if you lose your house. Fear of pain and fear of other people's choices. I'm going to say it again. You can have anything, do anything, be anything. You are God of choice. But you are held back by fear of pain and fear of other people's expectations and other people's retribution or other people's reaction. So what does that mean? It means that scientifically, we have this proven, whether you agree with it or not. Scientifically, this entire world is in a wave form. of superposition. It's in multiple opportunities in which you can collapse your consciousness on. But if you will only ever observe what is on the level of your frequency. Oh, please hear me. That's worth every bit of the price of admission. Receive this information. Science, doesn't matter if you agree with me. Quantum physics has been around for over almost 200 years. You don't have to agree with me. That's not Schrodinger's cat. Look it up. It doesn't matter. Edwin Schrodinger. It doesn't matter if you agree with me or not. This is all quantum physics. You can have, be, do whatever you want to be, everything you want. The life you want right now is in superposition. It's here, it's there, it's everywhere. And everything you don't want, you keep vibrating at a low level of frequency, and you're only collapsing the observation of your life into reality you don't want. Why would you do yourself like that? Why would you scientifically be able to have doing whatever you want to be and vibrate at a frequency that is not worthy of you and collapse on the reality that you can't stand? My name is Antonio T. Smith Jr. I don't know who you are. I do know this. I do know if you decide to vibrate at a frequency that is worthy of you, if you do that, you will automatically plant better seeds and you will create a better life. Again, visit the Brick by Brick motivational podcast where you can hear this again. Visit it, subscribe, download. If you see this on this page, follow me on facebook.com/theATSJR. Thank you for coming out. God bless you and good night.